All right, folks, it's just a few minutes away here from starting racing. The track is still open for just a moment more. Find your spot around the track. We are about ready to get going on this thing. It's a 7 o'clock start here for Friday Night Racing at the Velodrome. Time now looks like 6:54, so we're closing in on it. Our last opportunity for riders to get in their warm-up efforts. Thanks for joining us here. If you're in person here to cheer on the athletes, we appreciate it. We have a fun program tonight. We start with one that we don't get to see as often. It'll be the first of this season, a Madison upcoming, a fun team event we look forward to. And a great schedule to follow, including we'll be graduating some juniors from the Camp Velo experience this past week. We've got new riders to welcome to the track community during tonight's event. Looking forward to that as well. We'll be starting here in just a few more minutes. Friday Night Racing coming at you here at the Velodrome. That's one too. That bell means track is closed. Athletes, please make your exit. Thank you.
Hey, Nolan, go get your helmet cam. Nolan, go get your helmet cam. Quick, quick. And then Nick, you can kind of turn down the music. We'll get started here. All right, and with that, riders, Nick, you turn me down too. Nick, there we go. Hard. All right, riders, if you want to, you're really, really quick. It's weird that we don't have people gather. It's okay. General reminders. We are now at the rail for our starts, which is amazing. That means you need to exit immediately. No more victory laps. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Another thing, we have a time trial day tomorrow. I kept registration open until 11:59 tonight. So if you want to do a time trial, sign up, please. We don't have that many people. You have lots of room. You can choose anyone you want, but we have time trials tomorrow. It's donation based, so feel free to donate however much you want. But that is tomorrow, and registration will close at 11:59 tonight. I think that. Do you have anything else?
We've got a bunch of folks going to nationals next week, so we've got a little bit of light fields. But for the folks who are out here, good luck.
Thanks and welcome to Friday Night Racing. We're going to run the schedule as scheduled. Start out with a Madison scratch. Then we do unknown scratches for juniors and women. Unknown points, which means there will be randomly rung bells except for the last. And the Cat 1-2 men will have 4 sprints. The Cat 3 men will have 3 sprints. The final sprint is double at the end. Then we'll have a junior camp graduation, a juniors points race, 3 tempo races for women, Cat 1-2 men and Cat 3 men. Those tempos are Jerry Baker tempos, 2-1 each lap. Then we'll have a stayers race for the juniors, and we'll finish the night with 3 scratch races.
All right, I think with that, Madison's, let's get you rolling to the rail. Madison's, to the rail.
I'm not sure where it is.
In the bag, come on.
I've got to work the camera. Maybe I can help you a bit later, or I could,
All right, a bit of things going on there before the racing started, so I'm a little delayed getting up here, but we are in the middle of a Madison. This is a team event in which riders wearing the same jersey are going to be taking turns being the active rider. As you can see, some exchanges happening here. Riders will hold hands momentarily to transfer the momentum to their teammate. Once they do that, then their teammate becomes the active racer. The other goes into the relief and waits for their turn. Typically, this means that the racing overall can be faster as each rider is able to share their efforts. They take that moment to take a breather, get themselves reset to come into the race and reinitiate the action. Oftentimes, it's on those exchanges where things can get really tricky, both for safety and, of course, riders can also use that moment after they've rested to make the big attack and try to get themselves away from the race. Seeing 16 to go. The single malt velo colors there at the front is Haldy's leading things out right now. The Williams out there, I believe, is a team. Well, let's see. Actually, the exchange on the back looks like it's going to be Baker being tossed in at the front of the group for his partner, Kenny Williams. And now Dyna Racing, it's going to be Nolan in the pink, making a move here at 15 to go. Trying to get some distance here on that exchange and try to maybe get away from the other teams. Two riders now together, just pushing the pace a little bit, not enough to get away yet. I'd be remiss I didn't mention the origination of this race was basically a way to get around rules that were regulating how long you could keep an athlete on a bike. Racing in this great state of New York, Madison Square Gardens, they would keep racers on their bikes for days at a time. And it got a little bit, let's just say, inhumane. So the rules were, well, we can't do that. So why don't we just put another person on the bike? Yeah, it was a problem, let's just say. So they got clever and they said, you know what, let's make it two riders for one team. They'll just swap it out. We can still go for 2 or 3 days, no problem, right? Right? Loophole. Now, now we're all good to go. We've got this shorter race format that we all love to see here, the Madison. Riders taking their turns, still keeping the field all together at this point. A couple of attacks have not resulted in anything breaking apart. At 13 to go, our team's mostly all in contact. And this is going to be a scratch race format, so the first team to cross the line at the end is the winner. Oftentimes, if you're watching a Madison, just because of the longer distance that is oftentimes included, we do points racing, but in this event, we're going this 20-lap scratch. So the first team that makes it to the line will be our winner. No intermediate points to keep our eyes on. These current exchanges just kind of maintaining tempo as riders are coming in to take their turns. At 11 to go, our team, the white and green checkerboard, that's going to be Brando Russell's there at the front. Brando moves up to the right. It's often going to be, again, at these exchange points where the attacks will come. So we'll see if as some of these riders, when we get closer to the end of this race, as they're making exchanges, will go on the attack or not. Currently, riders still sort of in their exchange mode. Everybody's just taking their turns and keeping pace. Riders at the front are doing the most work. After about 200 meters or so, they're getting on the back and taking their breath for before their next effort at the front. Single malt looking around for his partner. We got an attack along the rail. The rider's now seeing it as the checkerboard team, the white and green, making the move in the exchange behind the field. No response from Haldeman at the front of the group, so now riders in the middle of the field having to jump up and get on top of the pedals quickly. With 9 to go, again, our checkerboard team now on the move and trying to attack here. One team feeling the pressure, the other three keeping it close. Andy Baker getting tossed in here at this point might be enough to go catch him down, as that'll be fresh legs to lead the charge, and it looks like he'll be able to put enough power out to catch and bring most of this field together again. When you have the choice, we go open over those exchanges. So you saw that in the home straight. Riders going up and around those exchanges, going on below them. Baker still riding on his momentum. Brandon Russell has to counterattack, and he'll just carry on his momentum now. Maybe Baker a little surprised there by the fresh legs of Russell, who comes around him on the right and is now on his pedals, moving along quickly. The exchange here for Williams is going to be pretty critical for these two teams at the front. Kenny looking for a little bit more, and he's going to try to go catch him down. If he gets off of that wheel, it's going to be one heck of an uphill battle between our two lead teams, Team Red and Pink, both in the pursuit now. We have a missed exchange, which means it's a freebie for Williams in some regard. He still has to do the effort to catch, but that was really good timing for the national colors. Very good timing for them indeed. Well played by both teams. Took advantage of the missed exchange. Williams gets back on where he needs to be, and we've got two teams on the lead of the race, currently on the back straight. Less than half a lap between them and the chasing red team and pink team. Both the next closest teams on the track in the chase right now. Williams tosses back in Baker, looks to his right and sees that he's still going to be able to stay on that wheel. 5 to go for the leaders. So this has now turned into a sprint for first and second, and a sprint for third and fourth at this rate. Fern Cole, the rider for red, and I believe the pink Dyna team is going to be Nolan Adams. On the back straight right now, those two representing again the sprint, which will likely be for third and fourth as long as the format we're looking at now stays as it is. Leaders coming across the finish line. Again, they're well ahead of the chasing two. They can do a little bit of this sort of match sprint format where they're riding up the track, watching each other a little bit. They know they're stuck together. They're glued to one another now. Our checkerboard team, the one that really made the aggressive move, the aggressors earlier, but then it all fell apart basically on one exchange. It may have turned out to be a successful break. Changes the dynamic of this race significantly. At 3 to go, both teams look like they're content after a pretty big effort to just roll at the tempo they're at. Another exchange here for the checkerboard team as Kenny Williams knows he's going to get out of the saddle for the fresh legs. He's ready. Brandon Russell now in his move here will go down the back straight. Oh, sorry, that's Russell just throwing in his teammate. I think that's Carl Hofer on the red bike. They're riding high now. Again, it's a bit of a match sprint between these two teams. They're far enough away now they can sort of watch each other and not have to worry too much about the pursuing teams. 2 to go. Hofer and Williams. Half a lap up on the chasing teams now. Back straight exchange for the national colors team. Or Baker getting brought back in. Hofer still on the front of this one. Baker carrying some momentum. He may want to take the lead. He will be getting the bell. This exchange for the checkerboard squad really critical as he comes down the hill for exchange in the flat before the bell. There's some hesitation. He gets tossed in, but it's a match sprint between Baker and Russell's here side by side for a moment. Baker slots in just barely behind him. Both riders waiting for it. The rider down the sprinter's lane has got his eyes peeled on the right side. He says, when you going, man? Now we're up to the sprint. Baker with a nice jump. He'll take it by a whole bike length now. It's got to be Brando on the counter punch here. Can he get back on? He's got a heck of a finishing speed, but Baker's very strong in this effort. Can he hold him off? Coming down the home straight. Here it comes, folks. The match sprint. Oh! On the outside, I think by an inch. Unofficially, that was close. I think our checkerboard team grabbed that one, but it was a great sprint and a great effort from both teams. It looks like our red team and our pink team will pick up the third and fourth place finishes as they come across the line, and everybody wraps it up on this lap. That'll do it for our Madison competitors. Thank you. That was fun. Yeah. Juniors, you're coming up next. After that, it'll be our women competitors. So juniors, you're now invited to the rail. All right, juniors, that's right. We alternate between Cat 4s and juniors on Friday nights. We have a growing community of young riders here at the track, and we'd like to feature them on Friday nights as well. This is going to be an unknown scratch for the kids. We'll get them started here in a moment with our officials giving the word to go. The unknown scratch, a race for the finish line. Much like the last race, the first rider to cross the line is our winner out of this junior field. But they don't know how many laps it's going to go for, nor do we. Nobody out here really knows except for the man with the bell right now. Andrew's got the power, and the rest of us are all in the unknown, waiting for the sound of the bell to confirm the race will be ending on the next lap. Again, our junior field on the track right now. They're getting in their neutral. We'll get them a start out of turn 4 to make sure there's no unfair starts. Not category. Women competitors, all women competitors are up next for their unknown scratch. All right. So the whistle sounds that the race has started. JC Pyle, number 406, takes the lead spot. No one feeling motivated just yet, expecting the bell not on the very first lap. That's a good bet. Those are fun. The surprise one-lappers.